The faces of Australia are draped on the walls of a Melbourne landmark in the country's largest ever photographic portrait exhibition.
I really instantly had this idea about a photographic collection of faces, of as many faces as I could find. And I didn't know at that stage how many there were or how difficult it would be to find them.
It's a snapshot of today's Australian society, one that's made up of people from more than 200 places of origin.
I wanted it to be something that everyone could see, so that, because what I wanted to say was, look, this is Australia today, this is what it really looks like, and this is what all these people look like together.
Siobhan McKenna was born in Zambia, but moved to South Africa at the age of 7. She came to Australia with her family 3 years ago to escape the escalating crime rate in Cape Town and had to confront a new challenge.
I got off the aeroplane basically and came to Shepparton to look, and it was very flat and very brown, and I was daunted coming from Cape Town with its mountains and seas.
Siobhan McKenna is one of the faces of Michel Lawrence's book, aptly titled All of Us.
It got harder as I went along, because you find smaller groups of people, like the guy from Togo was not easy to find. Burkina Faso is a difficult place to find. The Africans are difficult, and the Caribbeans were difficult, just because they're here in smaller numbers.
Michel Lawrence, himself the son of an English migrant, was formerly the creative director of a major advertising agency. It took him 2 years to compile the photographs, the idea sparked by the 2005 Cronulla riots.
I just thought, I need to find an answer. We all need to do what we can, and I just thought, I need to do something. And I really don't want this to be something that's going to be a part of Australian life.
The people featured in the book all live in Victoria. Most of them, like Ali Mulai, now call Melbourne home. The 25-year-old is working while studying full-time at RMIT University on a scholarship. He fled Afghanistan in mid-2001, a few months before the start of the US-led war on terror.
I left Afghanistan and came to Pakistan, and then through that, not long in Pakistan, came to Indonesia, and from Indonesia with a boat we came to Australia. Around 162 people in that boat.
The overcrowded boat caught fire and sank near Ashmore Reef. The survivors were then taken by the Australian Navy to Christmas Island and later to the detention centre on Nauru. The new federal government has announced that it will close the Nauru detention centre. How do you feel when you hear of that announcement?
I think it's a good idea. I feel happy because that's not a place for a human being to be detained there. Because I was detained there for almost 4 years.
They tell me these stories very matter-of-factly, just as if it happened yesterday, like going down to the milk bar. And some of the stories were really intensely difficult stories. And I found a couple of times I walked away and I felt like I just wanted to cry.
Michel Lawrence found some of his more unique case studies in Shepparton, 2 hours north of Melbourne. The town was the testing ground for the Howard government's regional humanitarian resettlement scheme 3 years ago. Fitina and Neema Mukusa are a pair of Congolese twins who came as part of the program.
Neema was the second twin born, and she was born not as well developed as Fitina, and she didn't thrive as well as Fitina was when they were little, and that's why her parents did send her off to another village to see if she could be fattened up.
Then civil war broke out. Neema, the younger of the two, was carried to Kenya for most of the journey, on the back of her then 15-year-old uncle. It took them 2.5 years, the severe malnutrition impacting her growth.
Often he would wrap himself around her at night time to protect her so that no one could see that he had a little child with him. And he did say to me that there were times when he would stay like that for a long period of time until he knew it was safe. Food was very scarce, and they virtually lived on river water during that 2.5-year trek into Nairobi. Yeah.
Julie Cobbledick tracked down Naima through the Red Cross and reunited her with her family in November 2006. The girls have since become very close to her. She'll be celebrating their 10th birthday with them in February.
When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
Why?
I want to help people.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a teacher.
Do you know why you want to be a teacher?
Because it's good.
There wasn't one person who, if they weren't already an Australian citizen, they could count the days to when they would get that. So, all the stuff about, citizenship versus multiculturalism is rubbish. These people all want to be citizens. They're not coming here because they want to go back home. They're here because they want to be here and they want to feel safe and secure, and they want a future for their families, their kids, their wives, whatever.
Hui Fern Tay reporting.